Good morning, students. Today's lesson is titled Setting the Record Straight and Graphic Novels 101 FAQ. And today we will be reading two additional selections. Where you will going to be comparing two forms of persuasive communication. As you already know, we've been studying persuasion, which is the art of winning men's minds, or a type of social interaction in which we try to make other people adopt our point of view, our ideas, or initiate the type of action that we anticipate that they initiate, right? So during this very short collection, you have already read An Indian Views of an Indian's Affairs. In our last meeting, you were assigned Why I Wrote Persepolis. And today we were going to be engaging our final two reading selections, which are Setting the Record Straight by Scott McCloud and Graphic Novels 101 FAQ. And let's begin with a question. You've probably heard before that the pen is mightier than the sword. And that talks about the power of communication, right? Um, Winning men's minds is more powerful than winning uh, men's bodies, like the sword would do. So, with that knowledge, knowing that the pen is mightier than the sword, and what the pen writes is words, could there be something even more powerful than words? Some people say that an image says more than 1,000 words. Would you agree with that statement? And think about this question: which has more power, words or images, to influence our beliefs and opinions? So people have different opinions. Some people think that words are more powerful than images. I am of the opinion that they are equally powerful. Some people, especially people that are a little bit more snobbish, diminish the importance of images. But I think that if the 21st century has made anything clear, is that images can be very powerful also. And that is something that Margine Satrapi was trying to defend in the last election that you read. She was being interviewed, and people were curious about why she decided to share her memoir, which dealt with very hard issues of civil rights, freedom of expression under the Islamic Revolution in Iran in the 70s and 80s. And she decided to do that in the graphic novel or comic book format. And as we already discussed before, people are very biased because they see uh, this format as childish or not sophisticated enough to address important issues. And the selection that you're going to be reading today are going to present additional arguments about why we can address important and serious issues using this format. Uh, I love this format. I am an avid graphic novel collector. And as you can see back in my part of my library collection. And when we talk about graphic novels, the term graphic novel is not new. It's been around for 30 something years when comic books were collected in single volumes. And, you had like many issues that were collected, bound as a book, and sold that way. Since then, graphic novels are considered a genre on their own with very sophisticated artwork and also with very complex storylines that span many different genres. In America, the most popular genre, of course, is the superhero genre, but any genre that you can uh, use in literature, you can use in this format also. You can write a romance, you can write action adventure, you can write drama that is as serious as any classic dramatic work in literature. So people still dismiss the format as not serious enough, at least for adults. I would like to tell you that that perception is very much American. The rest of the world, especially in Europe and places like Japan, the perception that they have about comic books is quite different. And graphic novels have been gaining more prestige and more acceptance in the mainstream. If you look at our modern forms of entertainment, which are TV and film, many of the most popular programs and movies are based on graphic novels. Probably the number one show in cable TV, which is The Walking Dead, which is survival horror, is adapted from graphic novels. And recent cartoons such as Coraline have also been adapted from graphic novels. Whatever the case, the rise of the graphic novel cannot be disputed, and their sales are substantial. If, usually, you will have to go to a comic book shop to acquire them. Now you can find graphic novels in any establishment, whether it's a bookstore like Borders, online bookstores like Amazon.com, and department stores like Walmart. Now, there are some literary concepts that you're going to be exploring in the reading of these selections. And the literary concept is the graphic novel. In the main, graphic novels are generally not written for children. Uh, most comic book readers today are not kids, as opposed to probably 1920s or 1930s or 1940s. Graphic novels have become much more serious and sophisticated, and I would say that some of them are completely inappropriate for young readers. But you have some that are written for these segments of the population. Today, you're going to be exploring again the argument. Remember that the writer is trying to convince you to accept their argument, which is their main point of view, their main idea. And arguments can be in favor of something or they can be against something. As I said, you're going to be reading uh, two different selections. One is titled Graphic Novels 101 FAQ by Robin Brenner and Understanding Comic Books by Scott McCloud. Both of them are articulating the same argument, which is that you should accept um, at least what Scott McCloud calls sequential art that I already told you we can call graphic novels or comic books as a valid form of literature and an effective means of addressing important human issues. Look, for instance, at this here of Art Spiegelman's Mouse. This won the Pulitzer Prize way back in the 80s, and it addresses very serious issues such as the Jewish Holocaust during World War II. Art Spiegelman's parents were survivors of the concentration camps in Europe, and he made it in cartoon form where the Jews are drawn as rats because if you look at Nazi propaganda during the 1930s, they basically presented the Jewish population as subhuman. And when you dehumanize people, then they're easier to abuse, which is what eventually happened. And the Nazis, the Germans, are presented as cats. But it won a very prestigious award, and that talks about the impact and the quality of this format. In addition to Art Spiegelman's Mouse, important graphic novels that came out in the 1980s would include Watchmen which is considered probably the greatest superhero story of all time. It deconstructs the concept of the superhero. It's very psychological. You have Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, which is considered the greatest Batman story ever told. Here you have a 55-year-old Batman coming back to the crime fighting business. Very, very interesting take on The Dark Knight. And also Frank Miller's 300, which is a retelling of the Battle of the Thermopylae between the Spartans and the Persian invasion. Currently, graphic novels have become the source of very successful cinematic blockbusters and hit TV shows that generate billions of dollars in revenue around the world. As you know, 2 years ago, uh, Avengers Endgame broke the record as the most highest grossing movie of all time. And the most popular show on TV today is WandaVision, also based on the comic books from Marvel. Uh, Another literary concept that you're going to be exploring is drawing conclusions. When you're reading Persuasion, it's vital that you draw conclusions about the effectiveness of the writer. And as you read the two persuasive essays, look for supporting details that the writers use to support their arguments. You're going to complete the chart that you see here as you read. Remember that you're going to identify each type of detail as either a fact or an opinion, an illustration, a quote, or statistics. And this needs to be completed as part of the work that you're going to be um, uploading very soon. Make sure that you find no less than 3 persuasive details for the 2 essays. You can read Setting the Record Straight and Graphic Novels 101 FAQ on pages 563 to page 575, and you're going to complete the Applying Your Skills section from page 576 in its entirety. And don't forget to include the chart. Okay? As I was saying, this is the test review that was posted in the website to help you prepare yourselves for the test that is going to be taking place February 18. And the test will be posted early in the morning as usual. And the link should be posted in your email. So check your email like you usually do to find the link there and engage the test. You will have until before 6 p.m. So please make sure that your test is done way before that so you will not have any kind of complication. The only term I will tell you that is not going to be coming in this test is the term cinema, because of changes that we have made in our planning during this instructional mode. So you can focus on all of these terms except number 12, which is cinema. The test is going to have a value of 75 points. It will have 4 parts. The first part is a multiple choice about the terms. Second part is an autobiographical essay that you will be reading, and it's pretty short because it's an essay, and then you're going to be choosing the best answer for some questions that are posted here. The third part is a true or false that is based on all of the selections that you read. You will be answering true or falses for How to Eat a Guava, The Secret Latina, Roald Dahl's Boy, Maya Angelou's I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings, and Cage Bird, in addition to Woman Work. You will also be answering questions for about StoryCorps and also An Indian's View of an Indian's Affairs, Why I Wrote Persepolis, and Setting the Record Straight, and Graphic Novels 101 FAQ. In the fourth part, you will be working with informational text. In this case, you're going to be engaging functional text. And there are there is one selection, that you're going to be reading. It's an article about how to stop cyberbullying. You're going to read that article, which is it's a functional text, and there's also a chart about the formatting, graphic, and design elements that has already been completed for you. You don't even have to complete it, but there are some questions that you will need to answer. Um, and basically, that is the test. It's um, a very easy test. So, guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great week, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care.